Good morning again. Scott here, known as Cantaloupe, some online, and I'm bringing another video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And earlier today, I made a video regarding some of the new videos I've seen on YouTube via the algorithm, things that are being served up apparently to everyone or just me, I don't know, but a lot of new stuff is going into my feed that I didn't search for, including some videos about young people doing athletics, gymnastics, and such. And on that subject, I want to make one more comment. I didn't mention this in my last video. There are also some wrestling videos that have come out, and I want to talk about wrestling specifically as a sport for young people. Pros and cons, just my experience. I actually took wrestling briefly in school, so I know a little bit about it. I know what it is. And, you know, while it is a legitimate sport, it is a legitimate athletic endeavor, it is also kind of suggestive. I mean, okay, so there's an opportunity for people to kind of abuse or misread the physical contact of wrestling. And I think if you are familiar with the sport, you know what I'm talking about. It has deep ties to Greece and Rome, when these sports were very common and hugely popular, and they occurred literally in the same locations as bathhouses and a lot of orgies and gay activities and things that are historically proven from artifacts and artwork and literature. So I don't want to deny the connection here, and I want to just make one point about it. I want to say that while it is a legitimate sport and it is very physically challenging to be a wrestler, you have to be in top condition, and it burns calories, and you get physically strong, all the stuff that athleticism is about. There is also, especially for young people in school, unfortunately, like I'm seeing in these videos, kind of an abuse going on where they're being recorded, first of all, which cannot be consensual because they're forced to be in school. So let's start with that point. They are forced to be in school, and they cannot possibly consent, therefore, to be recorded in suggestive situations or places where their clothing isn't necessarily what they would choose for themselves, which is the case. And in wrestling, you have to wear the wrestling outfit, and that's usually provided by your school or administrator. So anyway, I'm also seeing some very concerning blending of lines or blurring of lines between classes of wrestlers, such as they are making videos in school now apparently of boy versus girl wrestling. Okay, so this should automatically seem inappropriate because it is inappropriate. And if you need another connection why it is inappropriate, consider that a girl or a boy even has a significant other in school. They are allowed to, they're encouraged to. If you ask me, they should be learning about love and exploring relationships and being social and learning how to exist with other people. However, it should seem like a conflict of interest if, say, the girl you're dating has to go to this wrestling class and is being forced to wrestle with guys. Okay, that should just seem inappropriate. And if you're saying that it teaches them some kind of impulse control, I would say yeah, but maybe that's not a good thing in this case. Maybe that's the kind of impulse control you don't necessarily want in people. You want people to feel strongly attracted to the opposite sex, maybe. Something to think about. You don't want them to reject that or to confuse sexualized situations for education or places where you have no choice to be, and you're also being recorded and being forced to dress in a skimpy way, and all of these things are relevant. Okay, so yes, it's wrestling, yes, it's a legitimate sport, but you have to look at the big picture. And I'm concerned about some of the stuff I'm seeing, that it's contrary to education. It's really honestly designed to gratify the administrators and teachers who are filming it apparently, which is questionable, and then posting it online. Okay, well, I mean, it's probably not the biggest crime, but it could become a very damaging thing. And it already seems inappropriate when you're having co-ed wrestling. Come on, that's something else entirely. It's not even supposed to be fair at that point. So something to think about. The education needs to be optional. Okay, this is the final conclusion. If you need a big point for this video, education is supposed to be optional. Many things are supposed to be optional so that they are able to be consented to. I'm going to say that again. If it's required, such as most school is, for people under 18, they're required to go to school, then you are not able to consent to anything because it's mandatory. You are required to be there. So automatically you are any kind of transgression or dalliance with the administrators in that environment it's potentially an abuse. Okay, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, and they are being coerced in the best of cases, being coerced. So filming, having sex with, obviously, I mean, this happens, but the answer should obviously be that participation in school needs to be optional, and it has to be valuable enough so that people want to do it, that they can opt out, and that they're there for some measurable reason that they agree to. And I'll go a step further and say that the same is true for employment, the same is true for taxation, and it's a big, big project, right? So we all have a lot of opportunity here to understand what consent is, and it's not when you're forced at gunpoint to do something. That is what's called duress. Okay, so even if you agree to something under those circumstances, it's called agreeing under duress, and it invalidates your agreement. It makes it impossible to consent under those circumstances. So, all of the arguments aside, if young people are forced to be there, and if young people are forced to wear the clothes that you give them, and you're filming it, it doesn't matter if they agree or not. That's all I need to know about it. It's inappropriate. Reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.